Actual reactions transpiring in the central creation which are unknown on worlds such as Urantia. The basic organization of a threefold creation is wholly unlike that of the twofold constitution of the created universes of time and space. All natural law is coordinated on a basis entirely different than in the dual energy systems of the evolving creations. The entire central universe is organized in accordance with the threefold system of perfect and symmetrical control. Throughout the whole Paradise-Havona system, there is maintained a perfect balance between all cosmic realities and all spiritual forces. Paradise, with an absolute grasp of material creation, perfectly regulates and maintains the physical energies of this central universe. The Eternal Son, as a part of his all-embracing spirit grasp, most perfectly sustains the spiritual status of all who indwell Havona. On Paradise, nothing is experimental, and the Paradise-Havona system is a unit of creative perfection. The universal spiritual gravity of the Eternal Son is amazingly active throughout the central universe. All spirit values and spiritual personalities are unceasingly drawn inward towards the abode of the gods. This Godward urge is intense and inescapable. The ambition to attain God is stronger in the central universe, not because spirit gravity is stronger than in the outlying universes, but because those beings who have attained Havona are more fully spiritualized, and hence more responsive to the ever-present action of the universal spirit gravity pull of the Eternal Son. Likewise does the infinite Spirit draw all intellectual values paradiseward. Throughout the central universe, the mind gravity of the infinite Spirit functions in liaison with the spirit gravity of the Eternal Son, and these together constitute the combined urge of the ascendant souls to find God, to attain deity, to achieve paradise, and to know the Father. Havona is a spiritually perfect and physically stable universe. The control and balanced stability of the central universe appear to be perfect. Everything physical or spiritual is perfectly predictable, but mind phenomena and personality volition are not. We do infer that sin can be reckoned as impossible of occurrence, but we do this on the ground that the native free will creatures of Havona have never been guilty of transgressing the will of deity. Through all eternity, these supernal beings have been consistently loyal to the Eternals of days. Neither has sin appeared in any creature who has entered Havona as a pilgrim. There has never been an instance of misconduct by any creature of any group of personalities ever created in or admitted to the central Havona universe. So perfect and so divine are the methods and means of selection in the universes of time that never in the records of Havona has an error occurred. No mistakes have ever been made. No ascendant soul has ever been prematurely admitted to the central universe. 3. The Havona Worlds. Concerning the government of the central universe, there is none. Havona is so exquisitely perfect that no intellectual system of government is required. There are no regularly constituted courts, neither are there legislative assemblies. Havona requires only administrative direction. Here may be observed the height of the ideals of true self-government. There is no need of government among such perfect and near-perfect intelligences. They stand in no need of regulation, for they are beings of native perfection, interspersed with evolutionary creatures who have long since passed the scrutiny of the supreme tribunals of the superuniverses. The administration of Havona is not automatic, but it is marvelously perfect and divinely efficient. It is chiefly planetary, and is vested in the resident Eternal of days, each Havona sphere being directed by one of these Trinity origin personalities. Eternals of days are not creators, but they are perfect administrators. They teach with supreme skill, and direct their planetary children with a perfection of wisdom bordering on absoluteness. The billion spheres of the central universe constitute the training worlds of the high personalities native to Paradise and Havona, and further serve as the final proving grounds for ascending creatures from the evolutionary worlds of time. In the execution of the Universal Father's great plan of creature ascension, the pilgrims of time are landed on the receiving worlds of the outer or seventh circuit, and subsequent to increased training and enlarged experience, they are progressively advanced inward, planet by planet and circle by circle, until they finally attain the deities and achieve residence on paradise. At present, although the spheres of the seven circuits are maintained in all their supernal glory, only about 1% of all planetary capacity is utilized in the work of furthering the Father's universal plan of mortal ascension. About 1/10% of the area of these enormous worlds is dedicated to the life and activities of the core of the finality, beings eternally settled in light and life, who often sojourn and minister on the Havona worlds. These exalted beings have their personal residences on paradise. The planetary construction of the Havona spheres is entirely unlike that of the evolutionary worlds and systems of space. Nowhere else in all the grand universe is it convenient to utilize such enormous spheres as inhabited worlds. Triata physical constitution, coupled with the balancing effect of the immense dark gravity bodies, makes it possible so perfectly to equalize the physical forces and so exquisitely to balance the various attractions of this tremendous creation. Anti-gravity is also employed in the organization of the material functions and the spiritual activities of these enormous worlds. The architecture, lighting, and heating, as well as the biologic and artistic embellishment of the Havona spheres, are quite beyond the greatest possible stretch of human imagination. You cannot be told much about Havona. To understand its beauty and grandeur, you must see it. But there are real rivers and lakes on these perfect worlds. Spiritually, these worlds are ideally appointed. They are fittingly adapted to their purpose of harboring the numerous orders of differing beings who function in the central universe. Manifold activities take place on these beautiful worlds, which are far beyond human comprehension. 4. Creatures of the central universe. There are 7 basic forms of living things and beings on the Havona worlds, and each of these basic forms exists in 3 distinct phases. Each of these 3 phases is divided into 70 major divisions, and each major division is composed of 1,000 minor divisions, with yet other subdivisions, and so on. These basic life groups might be classified as 1. Material, 2. Morontial, 3. Spiritual, 4. Absonite, 5. Ultimate, 6. Co-absolute, 7. Absolute. Decay and death are not a part of the cycle of life on the Havona worlds. In the central universe, the lower living things undergo the transmutation of materialization. They do change form and manifestation, but they do not resolve by process of decay and cellular death. The Havona natives are all the offspring of the Paradise Trinity. They are without creature parents, and they are non-reproducing beings. We cannot portray the creation of these citizens of the central universe, beings who never were created. The entire story of the creation of Havona is an attempt to time-space an eternity fact which has no relation to time or space as mortal man comprehends them. But we must concede human philosophy a point of origin. Even personalities far above the human level require a concept of beginnings. Nevertheless, the Paradise Havona system is eternal. The natives of Havona live on the billion spheres of the central universe in the same sense that other orders of permanent citizenship dwell on their respective spheres of nativity. As the material order of sonship carries on the material, intellectual, and spiritual economy of a billion local systems in a super-universe, so in a larger sense do the Havona natives live and function on the billion worlds of the central universe. You might possibly regard these Havoners as material creatures in the sense that the word material could be expanded to describe the physical realities of the divine universe. There is a life that is native to Havona and possesses significance in and of itself. Havoners minister in many ways to paradise descenders and to super-universe ascenders, but they also live lives that are unique in the central universe and have relative meaning quite apart from either paradise or the super-universes.